Now, what I'm about to share with you today could literally change the trajectory of the rest of your life. And guys, it's not clickbait. I don't say this lightly. And here's why I say this. Because over the years, working with hundreds of people planning their retirement, I kept seeing the same painful pattern over and over again. People working longer than they needed to and paying a price that they never saw coming. Now, today, we're talking about the hidden costs of working past 60. And guys, this isn't just about money. This is about your health, your time, and the years you simply cannot get back. Now, here's something that's going to stop you in your tracks. Most people who delay retirement don't do it because they have to. They do it because fear is driving the decision. And the fear is costing them far more than they ever have realized. Simply stated, you are losing your best healthy years. Section 1, the financial truth. Now, let me start with the money side of this because it's where most people go first and they get it completely wrong. I had a subscriber reach out not too long ago, a couple months ago, and tell me something that honestly surprised even me. She said she had worked 2 extra years past 60, thinking it would make a significant difference in her retirement income. And when she finally sat down and she ran the real numbers with me, factoring in taxes, missed Roth conversion opportunities, and Social Security timing, you know what? Those 2 extra years only added about $300 more a month to her retirement income. $300 a month for 2 years of her life. Now, she was stunned. And honestly, most people are when they see the real numbers laid out in front of them. And here's why this happens. Because traditional retirement advice is focusing on one thing, and that is accumulation. Stack more, save more, work more. But guys, it never shows you the other side of the ledger, the tax penalties, the missed strategies, the opportunities. Those opportunities quietly disappear the longer you stay on the clock. And this next part, well, this is the one part that most financial planners will never bring up. It may be the most important thing in this entire video. The health reality, section 2. Now, I want to be crystal clear about something before we go any further. If your health is good and you have some ground to make up financially, or maybe unexpectedly, you had expenses that set you back, maybe things didn't go as planned earlier, then working a little longer can absolutely make sense. There is no shame. You do what you need to do to take care of yourself and your family. It's for your situation, and each situation is different. But for those of you who are working simply out of habit, listen closely, guys. A study published in Social Science and Medicine found that each year you retire earlier actually reduces your risk of cardiovascular disease. But why? Well, guys, because retirement lowers chronic stress and it gives your body the time to heal and recover. Every night, that sleep is so important. And you just don't sleep very well when you have all these looming deadlines, or you have to get that done before the end of the month or the end of the week. All those deadlines. Well, now the healthcare industry and the retirement planning industry rarely talk to each other. And that's the big disconnect. And it's costing people their health and it's costing them their lives. Now, AARP has reported that prolonged work stress in your 60s is directly linked to increased rates of depression, cognitive decline, and physical deterioration. And yet, nobody is connecting those dots for you. Now, here's the part that I really want to sit with you because this one hits differently for people. Number 3, your prime years are not renewable. Makes sense, right? Your early 60s are your last best window of peak physical capabilities. And I'm talking about things like hiking in a national park. If that's not your thing, what about traveling to places you've always dreamed about? Getting on the floor and playing with those grandchildren. These are not small things, guys. These are things that people talk about on their deathbed. Guys, I had a subscriber write in and tell me that she waited until her late 60s to retire, thinking that she was doing the responsible thing as a single parent. Well, by the time she got there, her knees could not handle the travel she had planned for years. Retirees who time their retirement during their healthiest years report significantly higher life satisfaction, not because of bigger bank balance, but because of what they were able to do with their time and their health while they still had both. And now, I want to show you something that most retirement calculators will never tell you because they're built on a flawed assumption that is misleading millions of people. Section 4, diminishing returns after 60. Guys, here's the truth about working longer after 60. The financial returns start dropping off. Most retirement calculators use linear projections, meaning they assume every year you work adds the same value. But that simply is not how it works in real life. After 60, the taxes hit harder. You may be jumping into a higher tax bracket. Medicare premiums can increase. Subsidies and benefits that you would have had to access in early retirement quietly disappear. So while your gross paycheck may look good, the net gain tells a very different story. A subscriber once told me that he pushed his retirement from 65 to 68. Okay, sounds fair enough. And then he got into his living style with his family, his finances, taking care of his parents when he was younger. Guys, he thought he was going to have a meaningful boost to his nest egg. And what he got was just a fraction of what he imagined. Now, let's talk about the real reason most people keep working past 60. And guys, it has really nothing to do with money. It's the psychological trap. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. See, I find this, I'm a real nerd when it comes out to this. I'm about to geek out here if you can't tell. Because the hidden cost of working past 60 is not just financial, it is psychological. And there are 4 traps I see people fall into over and over. Now, guys, the first one is what I call one more year trap. I'm just going to do it one more year. Honey, one more year, and then we can take that trip. I'll feel safer one more year. But 1 year becomes 2, and then 3, and then 5. And all of a sudden, a decade has slipped by. and so has your health. AARP research shows that nearly half of retirees between 62 and 70 wish that they had retired sooner. Guys, this is from AARP research. They wish they had retired sooner. On an average, 4 full years earlier than they actually did. 4 years, guys, that's not a small number. Think of that as your health starts to decline. In those 4 years, when you're done, what are the things that you can't do? Now, do you need to get your knees done? Do you need to get your hip done? Do you need other surgeries? You just don't know what that 4 years has cost you. The second trap is a safety illusion. The steady paycheck feels like security. I completely understand and I agree. But here's the truth. With the right withdrawal strategy, smart Social Security timing, and proper tax planning, you can replicate that same peace of mind without working 9 to 5. That safety net that you think you need is often more in your head than in your wallet. And guys, the third trap is the identity trap. Think about it. When you retired, or if you have retired, and people say, well, what do you do? Or who are you? Well, we always answered, well, I'm retired, but I used to do this. So the identity trap. All right. Paul. All right. Paul is his name. He is a subscriber with us. Paul, sorry about that, Paul. Paul had reached out, and Paul had spent over 30 years in his career and told me he had no idea who he was outside of his work. Now, I hear this a lot, but retirement isn't a finish line. It is a launch pad, guys. It is a launch pad for the best years that you have left. Paul now is thriving. He is doing so well. Paul, I'm very, very happy for you. Maybe one day I can bring you on as a guest and we can talk about it. I think that would be amazing. He started mentoring. He started volunteering. Paul does woodworking. And like I have commented before, this little baby, this is what he made me. And your phone sits right on top of that. I spent a little time with Paul, and I just love the guy. I think he's just an amazing person. Well, he had some passions, and I'm so glad to see him reach those passions. And now the fourth trap. Now, this one is especially common among high achievers, and that is the success trap. These are people like doctors, executive, business owners. These people are wired to win, and they keep pushing even when the returns have long since plateaued. The drive they built their success on now is quietly costing them years they work so hard to enjoy. Now, here is what I want you to walk away with today, because this changes absolutely everything. And it is section 6, the balanced approach. The goal of retirement planning is not to maximize your savings. The goal is to find your enough. I love that air quotes, enough. Your enough. When have you had enough? How many boats can you go behind? How many homes can you visit at one time? There is a limit, guys. At some point in time, reality just seems to go away. Now, guys, I call it the optimal retirement balance. And that takes care of these 3 things together: your peak health years, your financial sufficiency, and your emotional readiness. And not one of them alone, but all 3. And here is what it looks like practically. First, do an honest health timeline. Okay. Do this assessment and do it today or tomorrow if you can. Don't put it off. Real important. Okay. You want to answer things like, how is your energy? What does your family history tell you? How many truly active years realistically do you have ahead of you? Second, calculate your actual enough number, right? Not some arbitrary benchmark from a financial magazine or, some guru on TV or some guru, hey, on YouTube. Mine makes common sense. Theirs, not so much. What do you actually need monthly to live the life you want? You may be a lot closer than you think. And the third maps out what lights you up, what excites you, travel, grandkids, volunteering. And guys, the fourth one, and that is build a smart drawdown plan. That's kind of a key word, drawdown plan. Okay. Conversion, Social Security timing, and tax bracket management. Please work smarter and not harder or longer. All right, guys, I want to give you this closing thought. I want to leave you with this. You can always adjust your budget. You can always find ways to stretch your income. This is the gig economy right now. But you cannot go back and reclaim one single day of your 60s, not one. You know that. The research is clear. The stories are clear. And if you do work past 60 out of fear rather than necessity, now understand what I'm saying. If you're working it out of fear, one more year, and you haven't done the work to know if you can retire now, that's fear. I'm talking about necessity. I want you to ask yourself one honest question today. What's it actually costing you, guys? What's it actually costing you? All right, my friends, I have so much love for you guys, each and every one of you. I'm having the best time. I hope you are enjoying the content. Listen, I ask that you become a friend of the channel and you consider subscribing to the channel. Okay. If you'd like to join our newsletter, please consider going to seniornetwork.info. That is seniornetwork.info, and follow the link. There you'll find a description on how you can join our newsletter, and also down below in the description. Okay. Now, guys, if you found this video helpful, I think you're really going to enjoy taking a look at this one. It is just as good. Enjoy. Bye for now.